Hey everybody, it's Greg and it's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It is Wednesday, February 21st. Listen, James Taylor, guess what? James Taylor's coming back to Philly. He's coming to the man. August the 30th. What a great evening. Friday evening, under the stars, late summer, with the great James Taylor. Gotta appreciate these guys while they're still around, while they're still touring. You gotta go see James Taylor. Tickets go on sale Friday. What a songwriter, huh? What a singer. You can see a little piece of blood there. He's with us today. What a show. What a nostalgia to talking about our weekly TV classic show. Guess what? This ties in with James Taylor. News broke yesterday. 4 Beatles biopics coming in 2027. 3 years from now. Directed by this Sam Mendes guy. You know? He's directing all 4 pictures. Each movie is going to focus on each Beatle. Different perspectives. So you're going to have a separate film about John Lennon. Imagine possibilities. John Lennon, when he started off with the 4 Men, his relationship with Paul, songwriting, the Beatlemania, John meeting Yoko, and sadly, John's death. Think about what they could do with Ringo. Ringo was very sick as a kid. Hooked up with the Beatles. George, with all of his mysticism and his travels to India. George was always the quiet Beatle, you know? Paul. Look at everything that's happened to Paul. What a life, huh? And the Beatles, songwriting with John, his after Beatles life. Just so much. These films, I can't wait. Hopefully they are done the right way. The writers, important to get good writers. The direction. And it's just going to be interesting. The different. Here you go. Look, since our Budster is here with us, we have snacks, lead treats. There you go, Budster. All right, jump on it. I know these films are going to be done right, and I can't wait. I can't wait. The different perspectives. Yeah, the Beatles always evolve, don't they? They had that new song out this year, the Let It Be documentary. There's always something going on with the Beatles, right? I mean, this is a group, for God's sakes, that broke up in 1969, 1970. And they are still relevant in our lives today. Think about it. It's just amazing. And 3 years from now, we're going to have 4 new movies about the Beatles. It's going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to release them all together. They'll be competing against each other, right? You watch. I think they'll release one in the spring, one in the summer, one in the fall, maybe one in Christmas time. I can't wait. That's the big news for Beatles fan. We'll talk more about that as time goes on. All right. Before I get too much here, because last week when we did all the family, it was a good show, but it was a long show. So we're gonna try to not go that long today. But this is a classic TV show we're going to talk about today. One of my favorites. And I'm going to sing the theme song as I do every week. Okay, maybe I don't do a perfect job with this, okay? Maybe I will screw up the words. Maybe I will mishmash the words. It's probably going to be true. But rather, anybody could play the theme song for you in the background. Not many people have the gumption and stupidity of singing live for you. And this is going out to the world, and once we record it, it's out there. It's out there. It's out there. Can't take it back. Okay, you ready, bud? Are you with me? All right, he's all right. Look, here's a story of a lovely lady who was 3 young and 3 young. They were 4 men living all together, but they were all alone. I think I messed it up already. And like one day when this lady met this fellow, and they knew that it was much more than a hunch, that this group was Hamako and a manly. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. Sing it, everybody. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. I hear you singing. That's the way we became the Brady Bunch. Laughing. But the Brady Bunch. Da, 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 da. Yes. Today we talk about the Brady Bunch. One of my favorite all-time TV series of all time. Isn't a Bud laughing on the floor? Bud, this isn't that funny. What am I, amusing you? Am I clowning you? All right, so here it is. The Brady Bunch. Yes. First show was September 26, 1969. Last show, March the 8th, 1974. 5 seasons of the Brady Bunch on ABC. 117 episodes. I have my favorites. Oh, I mean, they mostly revolve around Marcia. Well, we'll get into that. She's like one. But I have to admit, Marcia was one of the girl crushes. And we'll talk about that. But most episodes with Marcia. The Marcia episode, the one with the Davy Jones, when she meets Davy Jones, we'll talk about that too. And the one that she gets hit in the head, or not in the head, but you throw me off, gets hit in the nose with a football, and her nose gets all swollen, and she can't go to the prom or whatever with the guy. So most of my favorites revolve around Marcia. Now the guy who created Gilligan's Island, Sherwood Schwartz, also created the Brady Bunch. And you see the Brady Bunch, but there were a lot of spin-offs. It wasn't just the Brady Bunch. We had, and then you had the Brady Bunch Hour, where it was like a variety hour, where they were singing and dancing and carrying on there. Huh? That was that. And then you had the Brady Bunch girls. The Brady girls get married, and then the Brady brides. And the very Brady Christmas, which actually the year it came out was the highest rated Christmas show of that season. People can't get enough of this Brady Bunch thing. Here's the deal. There were 5 seasons that the Brady Bunch was on with 1 year. It never cracked the top 3. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, Bud, that is hard to believe, isn't it? And I think he did a little mean treatment, because you can't believe that. And I can't either. When we think of this, we think of the Brady Bunch as this iconic TV show, and it is. It's developed into fame, into immortality, through syndication, through reruns, different generations. It's because of discovering the Brady Bunch, because it's wholesome family entertainment. They never got into like drugs, alcohol, well, at least not on the show. And there he is, there's our friend, but they never got into heavy topics. Like some of the shows back then, eight is enough, which I know. Family, they started getting into heavy stuff, right? Not the Brady Bunch. If somebody had a pit bull, that was the damn news. That was big news on the topic of it for the show. So, they kept it light, which was cool, because now we can look back and say, yeah, I wish things were that way. And the majority of think about this. the majority of the Brady Bunch's run, always rolling on the floor, rolling, was during the Vietnam War. Okay. So there was heavy stuff going on in the world. Nixon, Vietnam, right? The Brady Bunch were the breath of fresh air. You didn't have to think about all that crap going on in the world, right? You could watch the Brady Bunch every Friday night at 8 o'clock, like I did, every week, and forget about the trouble. Because you knew it was wholesome family entertainment, and you knew they weren't going to talk about too heavy stuff, right? Then you had the Brady Bunch films, which I didn't really care for. They're not the real Brady Bunch. Brady Bunch movie, Very Brady sequel, the Brady Bunch in the White House. I kind of don't remember that. I don't remember Marshall being president. Do you? Man. One of those famous episodes was called Getting Davy Jones. And that's, if you don't remember, that's Marcia tried to she promised to get Davy Jones, who was one of the monkeys and really a hot guy, hot singer now in these days, and even post monkeys. She promised to get Davy Jones to perform at her singing prom. So she got a little carried away there, and she didn't really have a confidence. She was recording studio, somehow she got through, and she got David to the young came to her house, they wanted to get a prom together, blah, 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 everything. That episode, TV Guide's top 100 greatest episodes of all time, is ranked number 37. Yes. We know that Mike was an architect. But what about Tiger, the dog? Tiger. We saw Tiger. Well, Tiger, this is an interesting. I had to take my glasses. Tiger was the dog. The Tiger ran in like during the first season of the Brady Bunch. Tiger was as cute. Not as cute as Bud, not as cute as Kate. But Tiger was this really cute dog and appeared on the first season. However, all of a sudden, Tiger, you didn't see Tiger anymore after that. Although, very interesting, notice this. In the 5 seasons of the Brady Bunch, Tiger's dog was coming back to the whole life. So if you're watching the later episode of season 5, Tiger's doghouse is in that. But there's no Tiger. Where is Tiger? We have to put, Tiger was on a milk carton or something. Where the hell is Tiger? What happened to Tiger? We have to know. And actually, the Brady's had a cat. Did you notice? The Brady's had a cat. There was a cat named Fluffy. It was actually the girl's cat. If you know the story, the Brady's, Carol Brady, they don't talk about what happened to her husband, whether he was deceased or divorced, whatever. Just simple, and she's trying to raise these 3 kids. And on the other side of the coin, you got Mike Brady, his wife was deceased. God rest her soul. And he is a widower. He's trying to raise the 3 boys. Well, the blended family that came together, that's the premise of Brady, right? Fluffy the cat only appeared in the pilot episode when they got married. If you remember, they got married in the backyard, and there was all the cake flying around and stuff. It wasn't exactly a food fight, but there was dogs running around, dog chasing the cat, and it just you would say it ruined the wedding, but it did, because in the end they all laughed. It was a good time, and the series was picked up. But Fluffy the cat was the girl's cat. It only appeared in 5. Again, what happened to Fluffy? It was never really stated, but it was always assumed that the Brady Bunch Brady Bunch location was in Los Angeles, outside of LA, because a lot of references. We'll talk about this. Don Drysdale, Dodgers, appeared on the show. Joe David, who played for the LA Rams at the time, appeared on the show. A lot of LA references. Yeah, as we said, no politics, no Vietnam War was mentioned. None of that. Yeah, the opening was sort of like a tic-tac-toe thing, and I got the faces of all the kids and them on the thing, as they're all looking up at each other and turning their heads and stuff and looking down. Yeah, that opening was rated number eight greatest opening in TV history, and it had a name. It was called the Brady Effect. The Brady Effect. So with this tic-tac-toe thing, whenever you see that on TV, it was the Brady Effect. Now, there's some other than the main characters, which we're going to talk about. There were some other characters too. Sam, remember Sam? Alice the maid, Alice's boyfriend, Sam. His last name was Franklin. I don't know if you ever knew that. He was out of the 117 episodes, he was only in 8 episodes, actually, of the Brady Bunch. Sam owned a butcher shop. And Sam was played by Alan Melville, who, if you remember, played a lot of character actors, a lot of characters in TV history. Sam the Butcher was the same guy who played Barney Hefner, Archie Bunker's best friend on our own thing. And as it turned out, as we find out later on in some of the Brady Bunch scores, Sam and Alice eventually got married. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad they weren't just living together. I'm well glad. All right, some more stuff. They talk about Brady Bunch secrets. Secret, like it's a mysterious thing, like Geraldo Rivera and searching for Al Capone's vault. Nah, Brady Bunch secrets. Like some unknown things, although the real fans of the Brady Bunch, they know this cool. Cindy's blonde. All right, let's talk about it. So the producers of the show, they wanted the boys to be Bobby, Peter, Greg. It's like the Beatles. We know Paul, Ringo, George, John, the Brady Bunch. Greg, Peter, Bobby, Marcia, Jen, Cindy. It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? That's how much of an iconic show this is. Well, they wanted the boys to be dark hair, and they wanted the girls to be blonde. So what happened? Some of them were. Bobby, like look into he was a strawberry blonde. So they actually had to dye his hair darker. And Cindy, Susan Olsen, was not a blonde. She had darker hair. So what they did was they dyed her hair blonde, but they did it too much and it started falling out in clumps. I kid you not. And maybe that was a good sign. That was a sign saying maybe we should do this. We know about Marcia after the show, and I'm not breaking any news here. She says it herself in her memoir, and that Marie McCormick was addicted to drugs, and she did cocaine, quaaludes. I tell you what, though, she really straightened her life up. She's a sweet, sweet girl. On Twitter, I occasionally have interactions with her, and she is very, very sweet. And she is a big, big advocate, a big champion of special needs. So this has been really important. Not only is she still a beautiful, beautiful person, she's got a beautiful heart too. There were rumors about Greg and Marcia dating, and they did date, but Marie McCormick made the statement she couldn't because she was too close to Barry Rhodes, and she said it was like kissing my brother, which in a way it was, because on the show they were brothers and sisters, and it was sort of not right. Uh, we know Robert Reed, God rest his soul, was gay. And that had to be tough with big one. Back in the day, when when people who were gay, it was not as accepted back in the early 70s as it is now. And so for a long time, Robert Reed had to keep this to himself. The cast and like Carol Florence Henderson, she knew, and she said, it was torture for this guy because think about here he's playing this family guy, supposed straight, right? And it deep inside in real life, he couldn't really be who he was, really. It was sad. Uh, and then, of course, the big rumor, which was Florence Henderson was dating Barry Williams, the mom and the son. You know, that it's not what you thought it would be. Uh, they went out for one day. Yeah. Florence Henderson was a married woman at the time. Barry Williams was his young guy, right? And you know how it is. I did that. This isn't my first rodeo. I've been through that when the hormones are flying home. So here's the thing. They went out and did. It was no big deal. Florence Henderson said, all right. She didn't consider it a date. She considered it, well, going out to dinner, right? We're going to get a stop. We're going to worry about them, whatever. And, but he did. He thought it was a date. But that's all. I don't believe it. We know Andy Davis, who played Alice, the beloved Alice. She died in 2014. And she was 88 years old, God bless her. And she had a fall on her bathroom. And she, poor thing. And that's how she ended up, unconscious. And she got in but she died. But she was the first one, the first cast member. And then Florence Henderson, November 24th, like in 2016, she had 82, she had heart failure. But Florence Henderson. Uh, and yeah, we talked about Tiger. And then there were some other characters who came in and out of the Brady Bunch all through the series, like Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips was like Brady's boss, the architect. He was in only 3 episodes, but you always heard like talk about Mr. Phillips this, Mr. Phillips that. And oh my God, you remember this little kid, Oliver, this blonde hair, he looked like pint-sized John Denver with the round glasses, the blonde hair coming straight in like in a bowl shape. Oliver. Well, now some series when they feel that the ratings or stuff to lag a little bit, and maybe cancellation is on the horizon, they try to spice up the show a little bit by putting a child actor in it. In fact, that became known as the cousin Oliver effect. Whenever you add a young kid to the program, but people didn't like them. Loyal viewers, even back then for the Brady Bunch, did not like Cousin Oliver because they felt that he was being added. It was really awful. The kids had their own. They were brothers and sisters, right? And the viewers, and I got to tell myself included. I never took the Cousin Oliver. I thought he was an outsider. I thought he was just a hated. They threw him in there. They just threw him in, right? And then that was the downfall of the show, believe it or not. Once they put Cousin Oliver in this, and his name was Robbie Rist, I believe. Not just I can't remember what I have for breakfast some days. I remember Robbie with that name. I didn't have it written down. Just came into my mind. It's like I went into the back file cabinet of my brain and I just picked out that name. Long ago. Anyway, so that's Cousin Oliver. And then you've got the doctor who still made house visits. When Bobby got the measles, the doctor came to the house with a little black bag. That's what you call a doctor. Like a Marcus Welby kind of doctor. You're not going to find a doctor doing that these days. That doctor was played by Herbert Anderson, who played the father in Dennis the Menace. Yes. Bobby's first kiss. The girl who gave Bobby the measles. She could go a lot worse. I love this. But it was the measles. It was played by Melissa Sue Anderson. That beautiful, beautiful girl who did Little House on the Prairie. And then Desi Arnaz Jr., not the old man, not the senior. He was in the Brady Bunch. He was Warsha was writing in her diary all about Desi Arnaz Jr. Desi Arnaz Jr. But you know what? I remember he was a popular guy. And he was in this group, Desi's, I don't know, 3 guys. They never really made it too far. But I never really thought Desi Arnaz Jr. as being his heartthrob got it. But that's what Warsha was about. He was in the episode. Jim Backus, our Mr. Negator back, was like second boss. And he appeared. So we said Ken Berry, Robert Mayberry RFD. ABC wanted to do a sort of a spin-off of the Brady's called the Kelly Kids. They were neighbors of the Brady Bunch. And it was this blended family back then. But the premise was 3 kids, an Asian kid, a black kid, and a Caucasian kid. And the Ken Berry was the dad, and how they never caught. He did 1 episode with the regular Brady Bunch kids and try to integrate them into the neighborhood. They never caught. Imogene Coca, great all-time actress. She played Aunt Jenny. Don Drysdale, great Los Angeles Don picture in one segment where one show Greg thought he was going to be this Otis baby great pitcher, right? Because he strike out all these other little twerps in the Little League. Well, as it turned out, he got a big head and worked hard enough and it got bald. So, as we know, like knew Don Drysdale, had a friend who knew Don Drysdale, a friend of a friend of a friend who knew Don Drysdale. And they had Don Drysdale appear in one of the episodes that he gave one of the big 12. Don Ho. Now, do you remember the shows they did in Hawaii? Don Ho, tiny bubble. Don Ho met Cindy and Bobby. Of course, we know Davy Jones was in that. And Davy Jones was also in the Brady Bunch movie. Deacon Jones, a big football player, the Los Angeles Rams, wanted a fearsome foursome. He was in the Brady Bunch. He did an episode when Peter was trying to save the choir, and he was being teased by these bratty, snot-nosed kids that he hung around with, who made it to play football. And they harassed, they tried to bully Peter. Said, hey, you're thinking. No, Peter was the man. Peter did the right thing. You could sing, you could play football at the same time. Why not, right? Well, Deacon Jones came on to that. See, and he made a point. He said to these kids, look, the kid can sing and play football. Why not? You don't like it? I'm going to beat you guys. No, he could. We're talking about a guy who was like 6'7", 245 pounds. He could squash them. And speaking of Joe David, the great Joe David. We know Joe David was days with the New York Jets, right? Broadway Joe. Well, at the time, Joe David, at the end of his career, played for the Island Rams. And he was in an episode where Bobby wanted to meet Joe David. And Cindy, along with Bobby, they were in cahoots. They wrote this letter to Joe David saying that Bobby was dying. And his final wish was to meet Joe David. A great Joe David. Now, if that was done today, Bobby would be in jail. Yeah, it's Jesus. They would say, Bobby, what the hell are you doing? Pretending you're sick? You know, instead of writing to Joe David, why don't you get out, get your little keister out to the hospital and meet some real people who are dying? You wouldn't want to do that again, would you? No, yeah, so much. And Wes Parker was a Dodger player. He played, Greg had a crush on. That's we go through this, but think of some of the episodes. Greg had a crush on his beautiful math teacher. Beautiful. Again, the Harvards were all in red ridge. And it turned out that Wes Parker was with fiance. Since Greg is a big Dodger fan, he got over that infatuation. Vincent Price was in it a few episodes when they were in Hawaii. Of course, what else would Vincent Price play? The mad scientist. Marion Ross, who played the mom on Happy Days, she was the doctor on the Brady Bunch too. Again, the episode when the kids got measles. Marion Ross was the female doctor. It wasn't that a female doctor came to the house to see the boys. A male doctor, played by Herbert Anderson, came to see the boys. And finally, Rita Wilson, who is Tom Hanks' real wife. She played one of the cheerleaders on Marcia's cheerleading squad. Yeah, so this is how the Brady Bunch evolved. All right, take yourself back to the mid 1960s. 1966, Sherwood Schwartz had the Gilligan's Island, and he was looking to do a new show. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do. So he was reading the LA Times over breakfast. I don't know what he had for breakfast, maybe pancakes and lunch. And he's reading about 30% of the new families now married with kids, blended families. And he came up with this idea. What if we did that from the TV series and blended the families and see how that would work? In fact, there was a movie out around the end of the late 60s called Mine and Yours. Yours are mine. Yours, mine, and his. Mine, yours, and yours. I don't know. Anyway, it was a very popular movie. And that actually helped. Yes, yours, mine, and ours. That actually helped sell the Brady Bunch. Sherwood Schwartz went to this the BBC and tried to sell the series. And they saw how well this movie was doing, and they said, yeah, sure. So they ordered 13 episodes in 1968. And during the summer of 1968, the Brady Bunch started airing in 69. They did 264 interviews with kids. And they pared it down to the 5 or 6. Well, but can you imagine that? Imagine doing the interview that summer of 68, not knowing that, this was going to be an iconic show, if you got the part. Now, the theme song, which I butchered when we first started this thing, too. It was originally sung by a group called the Peppermint Trolley Company. And that's theirs. I kid. So that's who did the first scene. That's under my wheelchair barking. Lucky him. Peppermint. Now this Peppermint Trolley, it never became much. They weren't the Beatles. Don't get me. All right, but so. And then the rest of the season, the Brady Bunch kids themselves, they do the house, iconic. It was actually built in 1915. And the reason they picked this particular house, which is a real house in the suburbs of LA, was because Sherwood Schwartz thought it looked like what an architect would do. It went up for sale in 2018. It was actually bought by HGTV and Nance Band. Lance back, in sync last week, actually was one of the people who bought it cheap. And it sold for uh five $5 billion. $5 billion. Can you see that? The address of the Brady Bunch was Bud. What the hell? Was 4222 Clinton Way. Clinton Way. And the interior of that house was used for other series, such as Mannix and Mission Impossible. They just moved the furniture. This show became so popular. It's around the world. If not in Germany, maybe I'm not a good German student. Three girls in a boy. It wasn't known as the baby. Three girls in a boy. And in Italy, Album di Famiglie was the name of the series. Album di Famiglie. All right, so just a little bit more. Isn't this good? No, what is it? The show sucks tonight. The show sucks. All right. So as we said, the Brady Bunch got steady ratings throughout its run of 5 years. Never was in the top 30. Which I still find hard to believe. I really do. So I never really wanted the major reports. But TV Land in the future, as it was syndicated on videos, it would have their own crazy awards of the movie. Best hair, best clothes, and the Brady Bunch put some of those awards, like Peter had the best hair, Greg had his clothes, things like that. And the Brady Bunch did a few records. You remember Sunshine Day, it's a Sunshine Day. Well, they never really bought it. I think they wanted to be like the Osmonds and the Jackson Five. They called themselves the Brady Six. And they actually put an album out called Meet the Brady Bunch. It got the 108 and the Billboard charts. And then we talked about what's your book? Here. I have a promise boy down. Yeah. But look, he's got his head stuck between the spokes of my wheels. There you go, big guy. Take a tree. 1976, the bicentennial. I remember it from all the celebrations, the bicentennial, the fireworks, the wagon train going through town here, the million people at Valley Forge. We went to see President Gerald Ford. Well, one of the other highlights of that year, which we should never forget, is the Brady Bunch variety. It only lasted one season, 1976. And later on in some of the Brady movies, especially the Brady Bunch girls get better. That's when Jan and Marcia got better. Not good. They made a movie out of it. Well, by then, a lot of the kids were growing up. And this is what Carol eventually went on from just being a mom after the kids grew up. She said, what am I going to do? Just sit around the house all day and clean or eat chocolate? No. Born to get a job. She became a real estate agent as we were thinking. Greg became a dad. I always saw it in he failed as an actor. He thought he was going to be this hot shot baseball player. Well, Don drives the champion. And this football guy, Joe David, he said himself, you're not going to be football. So, Greg did the right thing and became a doctor. He's helping it all. He's probably out there right now, as we speak, healing people. Marcia became Irish. She became a fashion designer. Peter was in the Air Force, and Bobby and Cindy at the time were in college. But as we know, Bobby later went on, and in real life, to be a race car driver. And so that's really it. That's the Brady trip. You know what? Seriously, I love that shit. And I still, I'm based. But if I'm, what the hell are you? Oh, here he is. His head's sticking out. Here you go, we're done. Keep it quiet. If I'm going around the cable, right, and I want something to watch, and I come on the Brady Bunch, I'll stop and watch it. And because it brings back a lot of memories and a lot of good times. And I remember that you remember where you were, what you were doing when you see these kind of shows again. Friday nights, and you can't help but remember what we were doing. And I still watch it. I'm really glad that it's popular still. And the kids nowadays are not only getting a taste of what it was like growing up back in the early 70s, broadly, the music, the different music, and fashion. And, kids are kids, right? It's basically, there's a lot of other stuff going on. But the Brady's had the same problems. There were a lot of episodes about selfish moods, right? Washing with the nose. There were a lot of teenage issues. It was very interesting because when the Brady Bunch first started, remember this? They actually focused on the adoption thing, how they were a blended thing. And I remember Carol Brady made the statement when we were episodes, because one of the girls' episodes was Bobby was having a hard time accepting being one of the in the family. Of course, he was listening, and he decided to want to learn it. And Carol said to him, "You know what, Bobby? The only steps in this house are the steps that lead right to you." That she didn't say it in a threatening way, like, get to your room. She said it in kind of, well, we don't talk about stepchildren. The only steps are leading upstairs. And so it was done in a very gentle way. And then after the first season, if you remember, they stopped talking adoption, blended families, because they were. They were. I don't think ever again was it mentioned or that they were, they were blended. It was like they had always been brothers and sisters, all it's a little tribute, right? Anyway, iconic show, great show. It should have won more awards than it did. It should have been rated higher than it did. More people should have watched that. But I'm just glad that people are finding the Brady Bunch now and enjoying. Well, I hope you guys had a fun time listening to my spiel about the Brady Bunch. Next week, we're going to talk about another classic TV show. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll figure that out as time goes on, won't we, Bud? Bud and I will get together. We'll have a powwow, and we'll talk about what should have been do. Tomorrow, Lord only knows how long we'll talk, but we will. And we'll talk about baseball, now that spring training has begun. How about that, huh? Listen, here in Pennsylvania, it's supposed to get into the 60s next week. Woo-hoo! And I hear that in the Midwest, Chicago, they get 70. Parts of the Southwest, like Dallas, will get 80. I don't know. I hope it doesn't get too hot too fast. And I hope it doesn't scorch the birds. And the flowers. Some of my crocuses, they cover them. You need for it to get warm, and then it's going to get cold with it. Snow. No, I hate that. If it's going to be spring, let it be spring. All right, everybody, you have a great day, okay? Catch an episode of the Brady. Look forward to those Beatle movies coming on in 3 years. I can't wait. Now I have another reason to stay alive. You know, right, bud? Yes, can't wait. You guys have a great day. Love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. And see you guys tomorrow. Take it. Bye.